my name is Emily Shelton, and I'm here to argue that people are allowed an equal distribution of resources, a system that meets their basic needs, and the equal opportunity to compete for resources. I also argue that we do have a non-enforceable obligation to provide for the basic needs of distant others who cannot provide for their own needs, rather than provide luxuries to those who are near us. Meaning, I'm arguing that a person should have the moral right, should have the moral obligation to take care of those that can't take care of themselves, and to help people that are in distant countries or nations and help them with the wealth that we have. And without these things, children die of starvation, children die every day from poverty, from immunizations. The children are dying, and we aren't doing what we can. From a utilitarian point of view, with my argument, they believe that happiness is the means to everything. They argue it's the only thing worth pursuing in life. So keep that in mind when I talk about poverty and these children and everyone that's going through these chains of wealth and have money and don't have money. So in the article, National Responsibility and Global Justice by David Miller, he states that, why is it fair that I, a citizen of relatively affluent Britain, have a life expectancy of 76 years, live in a country with a GDP per capita of US $30,000, have easy access to good quality education, health care, and so forth, while a person born in Nigeria has a life expectancy of 47 years and a GDP per capita of only $1,000. And unless they are quite lucky, very little access to decent education or health care. So if you take that into consideration, the guy, he's making, or GDP is 30,000, Nigeria 1,000. If you just look at the numbers alone, it's a huge difference. And the guy that's born in Nigeria has no way of bringing up his wealth. He's born into poverty. He doesn't have any way out. This statement made by Miller is exactly why global justice should be in place. Just because the person is not the same state or even the country as you does not give the person the moral right to deny or neglect the basic needs of an individual. Like I said, the person that's born in Nigeria, he doesn't have the GDP capita like the other countries, and he's going to need help, and that's where we as a nation could step in. And in my next point, giving up luxuries to help the poor. And the person born in Nigeria, he's going to have to need help, or he won't reach a good quality of life. So in the article by Peter Singer called The Singer Solution to World Poverty, he proposes his solution to world poverty. His solution seems very simple, but it comes with a bunch of variations to people. He argues that all people must do is to stop going out and stop spending money on the extra luxuries and whatnot, and poverty will just go away. And that if people can spend an extra $200 a month and put it towards agencies that will help overseas, that poverty will go away. So in one of his statements, he says, Singer states, $200 in donations would help a sickly 2-year-old transform into a healthy 6-year-old, offering safe passage throughout childhood's most dangerous years. So he's saying, you give up going out to dinner a few nights a week, a few times a month, that saves you $200, therefore you put it to an agency, and that will better that child's life, get him through the dangerous stages of life, and he will succeed and grow and be a successful human. His solution to poverty could be effective, but a counter argument for this argument would be that people the wealthy people, they work hard for their money. They don't want to give it up. They don't see the results directly when they are giving up their $200. They don't know what it's like to be necessarily in poverty all the time, risking your, don't know if you're going to wake up the next morning because you're starving. They can't see that, and they don't understand the whole situation they're in, and they don't want to put their money where they don't know where it's going. So that is a counter argument that some people have made about his solution to poverty. So, in conclusion, it is known that children around the world die from starvation and poor living conditions caused by poverty. So if wealthy people were more concerned with making sure the basic needs of people who cannot provide for themselves are met, less children would die, and the living condition for those less fortunate would increase. Solving poverty will not happen overnight or even within a couple of months, but if steps towards reducing poverty are taken, it is going to have a positive effect on the world and a positive effect on